High energy equals high income. And I might be one of the few people that can actually keep up with Brent when it comes to energy. Okay, so I'm going to make this as the best I can for you today. So let me ask you a question. Right now, with everything going on in the market, I hear and feel that some people feel a little bit of anxiety and uneasiness because they are just worried about what's going on with all the changes, the interest rates, the inventory. It can be a little scary, yes, right?
Yes.
It can, right? We're human, you're human. So I want to talk to you about how you can position yourself as not just a commodity. So a commodity, I'm going to think about a commodity as something like, if you go to look for gas, you're looking for the cheapest price, right? You go to look for cell phone service, you're looking for the cheapest service provider. Or if you go to look for internet, you're looking for the cheapest one because they're basically all the same. Understand? All right, that's a commodity. Now, what a commodity is it is interchangeable and replaceable because it's doing what everyone else is doing. When you can not be a commodity, but truly have an unmatched value proposition, where when people see you, they're like, wow, no one's ever talked about that. I've never heard about that before. That's a new thing. And when somebody can be on the other side of your marketing and they feel like you are talking directly to them, all of a sudden they lean in. So right now with times like this, first of all, I have been in real estate for 21 years, and I was here during the 2008 crash. And like Brent, it was some of the best times in the industry because I was able to adapt. So the good thing is that now that you're aware, now you can prepare. Everybody say prepare, right? Prepare. You're gonna notice I'm having you talk back with me because then you're more likely to implement and to remember what I'm talking to you about when you do that. So you just need to prepare. So in the 2008 market crash, I remember about a year before, I realized that things were kind of changing because, you know, within a month, a house on the same street would go up like $100,000. And I was going like, this is not normal. How are these houses appraising? People were getting loans with stated income loans. And I knew that this person that worked at McDonald's could not afford this, $800,000 property. So I started researching and realized that the market was going to change. So I adapted and shifted based upon my knowledge and preparing for what I thought would happen. Okay. And so by doing so, I ended up getting like 13 different asset management companies and banks. And in my best year during the foreclosures, I sold 169 homes as a solo agent. All right, because I prepared. So now all we have to do is prepare. Everybody say prepare. Prepare. Right now, you're aware of what's happening. So now we are going to prepare. Now, how can we prepare right now? What activities can we do right now to prepare for what we're already in? I want you to think about having an unmatched value proposition. If everybody is wearing green shirts, I want you to wear a red shirt. Why? Because you're going to stand out wearing the red shirt. And if everybody is telling the community to do one thing, I want you to think about how you can position yourself and your marketing message different from everybody else's. Okay. So understand this. You're a business. You are an entrepreneur. The backbone behind any business is marketing and innovation. So I want you to think about how can I market myself and position myself as different than my competitors so that people don't just see me as a commodity and I can gain more market share. I want to gain more market share. The idea is this. The good thing is that a lot of agents do not have Brent Gove. You're not in your organization. So people are going to be leaving the industry because they are fearful. They're afraid, they're nervous. And so when most people are afraid and fearful, they freeze, okay? You're not going to freeze because you are prepared. So you've got Brent helping you, you've got this organization. So what I want to encourage you to do is to start thinking about marketing, okay? Now, the more that your marketing messaging speaks to somebody, the more likely they will convert. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. We all know that it's a better time right now. And if you don't know this, you need to know this, okay? If you compare 6 months ago when people were trying to buy a house as a buyer, it was nearly impossible. They had to pay $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 more for the home. They had to remove contingencies and there was no inventory. Is that true? That's true. Okay, good. Well, guess what? The good news is that right now, even though interest rates are up, it is less expensive. It's more affordable for a buyer to buy a home because they don't have to do all those things that they did before. So if you can show a buyer that, hey, I know right now you think that interest rates are really, really high and it's not a good time to buy a home. Let me compare to you what it takes a buyer to buy a home right now versus what it was 6 months ago. Show them that. But when you're showing somebody that, let's just say when we talk about marketing messaging, let's just say I'm talking about buying a home. Well, let's pretend that there is a veteran and the veteran doesn't have the best credit score and they don't have a lot of money in the bank, but they do have a job and they are a veteran. And because of that, they probably can purchase a home, but they don't think that they can because they don't have a lot of money in the bank and they don't have the best credit score. So if I say, hey, right now is a great time to buy a house because, right now is a great time to buy a house because of X, Y, and Z, that buyer, that veteran is tuning me out because they don't even think they have the ability to purchase. But what if I change my marketing messaging to this? Are you a veteran with not a lot of money in the bank and not the best credit score? Do you know that you probably can buy a house right now? And believe it or not, right now is the very best time to buy. Now, do you see how my marketing message from the first one, hey, it's a good time to buy, the veteran's going to be ignoring me, to, are you a veteran with no money down and not the best credit score? Do you know you can buy? Do you see how just by that first initial hook of what I'm saying is going to get him to listen? Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can do that with every single thing. Your competitors are talking about like doom and gloom, or they're just talking to the masses, right? If you, like Brent said earlier, I heard him, he said, find out what you like and go after that person, right? It's the same exact thing. So I'm going to be giving you a sheet that I'll put into the chat, and you guys can all take advantage of it. And basically, this is called a client avatar sheet. And what this is this is going to help you craft your marketing message to speak directly to somebody so they raise their hand and say, I need what you have. I've never heard of that before. You're speaking directly to me. I need that thing. I'm going to stick it in the chat. And then Brent, hopefully your team can grab this and then give it to everybody. Okay. Now, whenever I go and launch a new campaign, and right now, all of you should be thinking about different marketing messaging because of what's happening with the market. Your job is to educate. Your job is not, it's not who knows you, who you know, but it's who knows you. Your job as a marketer and as a real estate agent is to make sure that anytime anybody thinks about real estate or anybody thinks about your community, they think about you, and they need to think about you well before they're ready to take action. So when you fill out this client avatar sheet, it's going to help you identify, number one, who your clients are, what their problems are, what their desires are, what they want and what they need, so you can speak directly to that marketing and put that in your marketing messaging. Does that make sense so far, everybody? Everyone say, you guys follow along? Okay, good. You guys are a great group, so thank you for that. So fill out that sheet. Now that sheet is going to have you analyze what your competition is doing so that you can find areas of weakness, and you then can modify what you're talking about in your marketing to capitalize on that weakness, okay? Also, I want you to look at what your competition is doing so you can find ways to do it better. How can I take what they're doing that's working for them, and how can I adjust it and put a twist to it to make it even better than them? Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. When I first got into the real estate industry 21 years ago, I'm very old now. Basically, I looked at what my competition was doing, and realtors that had listings were putting a sign up, and that was pretty much it. It was lucky if they had a black and white flyer. So what I did was I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put 4-page colored flyers, and this is like 21 years ago, people, on my listing signs. I'm also going to take a CD and take 50 pictures and put 50 pictures on that CD, so they then have more stuff to look at in the property. So my competitors were doing black and white flyers, if that, and I said, that sucks, that's weak. Let me do 4-page colored flyers, let me add a CD. I saw what was happening in the market, and I figured, how can I capitalize it so that I can stand out, so that I am not a commodity? Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes.
On that sheet, you are going to look at what your competitors are doing, and you're going to see, how can I do that better? You're also going to look at that, your competitors, and see, what are they not doing? How can I figure out what they're not doing, what's not being talked about, and how can I twist it so I can become the educator and a person of influence and authority, so I stand out in my community? Then I'm going to now look at who do I want to serve? Okay, I want to serve this type of person, this type of people. And then I'm going to speak directly to them, just like we talked about earlier with that veteran. Hey, are you a veteran with no money down, no money in the bank, right? You can still purchase. Now, let me twist this around. Think about, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, when it was like an amazing time for sellers. And guess what everybody's marketing messaging was? It's a great time to sell. Oh my gosh, bidding wars, multiple offers. Well, it's like, well, no, duh. Everyone knows that, right? What was happening at that time was sellers wanted to sell, but they were afraid that if they sold their house, they would be homeless. So everyone knew it was a great time to sell. So if I was to say it's a great time to sell, they were like, well, everyone knows that. Like, you're not telling me anything I don't already know. But my marketing messaging at that time was, are you thinking about selling, but you're afraid to sell because you're afraid you're going to be homeless? Right? Now, all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, I'm afraid of that. Now they're leaning in, they're listening to me, right? So you want to think about what people are thinking and feeling and how your marketing message can speak directly to them when you're thinking about who your client is. So it's about a 6 or 7 page worksheet. I guarantee you that if you take the time to go through this worksheet, that it's going to help you craft your marketing message so that people actually not just see you, but they relate to you. They know that you understand them, that you develop yourself as the authority. You position yourself as somebody of influence who can help them. And then I want you to be innovative, right? I want you to show them your unique value proposition, how you are not doing just what everybody else is doing, all right? I'll give you an example of this let's say, when I wanted to get into real estate, I wanted to be a coach, right? Well, there's millions of coaches out there. And I was like, okay, I want to be a coach. Well, I want to be a real estate coach. So I decided I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to teach real estate. Then I decided, okay, well, I don't just want to be a real estate coach. I want to specialize in marketing. So now I'm a coach who works with realtors who specializes in marketing. Well, what type of marketing am I going to specialize in? Well, I'm going to specialize in social media. Okay, what type of social media? I'm going to focus on Facebook social media, and I'm going to use video in order to do that. So now I specialize in coaching real estate agents who want to use marketing using Facebook, and I focus on video. Does that make sense? Now you could go to, there's a lot of great coaches out there. There's Brian DeFini, there's this is the big guy, Tom Ferry. There's all these great coaches, but I want people to know that I'm the coach that specializes in XYZ. What do you specialize in? Who are you going after? What differentiates you from your competition? Who do you help? Who do you serve? And how are you going to speak to them so that they know that that's exactly who you serve? Does that make sense, everyone? So far, yes? You guys don't see it? Let me just do this to everybody. Hold on a second. Sorry, everyone. I'll do it again. Command V. There you go. Okay, it's there. It's there now. So that's the client avatar sheet. Now I'm going to tell you one last thing that you can do. This is something you can do right now. You can start taking action right now. I guarantee you, I can't say guarantee, but I'm telling you this, that if you commit, all right, if you commit from now until the next 12 months, and I know it seems like a lot, to be a content creator, somebody who is a reporter, you're going to report back to your community utilizing video. I want you to do video because you know that saying, a picture says 1,000 words. Well, a video says 1,000,000 words. And a video helps you develop a relationship with somebody on the other side of a screen. It's actually called a parasocial relationship. What that means is when you see somebody on the other side of a screen, you feel like you kind of know them, right? For example, I've been talking now for what, like 10 minutes or whatever it might be. Do you feel like you know me a little bit now more than you did 10 minutes ago? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a question. What if you just saw a picture of me like this? And I had a bunch of words. Would it be the same?
No.
It would not be the same, okay? Because of this video, now you know that I'm super crazy, very hyper. You might think like, gosh, she actually knows what she's talking about, right? You see I'm missing a tooth. You're like, oh my God, she went on. Why would she do that? But my point is that you are developing a one-sided relationship with me, just like you do when you watch television. When you're watching TV and you've got a character that you love, you cry for them, you cheer for them, you scream at them, you feel like you know them. It is the exact same thing with video. So I can tell you that if you commit to yourself that you're going to start creating content that adds value and get it out into your community on social media sites, And if you then also learn how to properly distribute it so it's seen over and over and over again, that in 12 months from now, regardless of the economy, the recession, interest rates, or inventory, you absolutely will have a different business than you do right now. I promise you that you will, okay? I consider myself an expert digital marketer. This is all digital marketing, and I've done it the exact same way that I'm showing you now. And I promise you this, there is nothing special about myself or Brent or anyone else that you see out there that's successful. We have failed and failed and failed and failed forward. And there's also nothing special about myself or Brent. I know that he didn't graduate from Chico, multiple times. They didn't accept him. I have not lived at home since I was 13 years old. And everything I have created is just based upon my mindset and pushing and pushing and going and doing and not listening to all the naysayers. You can do it. I know you're afraid of video. I know you're like, I don't look good. I'm missing your freaking tooth right now. And I'm doing this. Who cares? Like, it's not going to hopefully make you not like me. And if you don't, you're not the right people, right? You are going to attract the people that want to work with you, and you are going to detract the ones that don't. It's the way you look. It's how you sound. Now, some of you might be saying, Krista, I'm too new. I can't do this. Yes, you can. You just have to be one step ahead of your competition, right? One step ahead of the consumer. Take a training, read a book, talk to Brent, interview another agent, look at trends that are happening in your area, look at your client avatar, research what they want, and then just record a 2-minute video. Okay. I think I'm out of time. Hopefully that's helpful. By the way,
don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Do you have one more second? Do you have one more second, Krista?
I have everything for you. I love you.
Okay. So basically, I want to say this. Krista is one of the top 5 women coaches in America. And she's famous in the funnel world and marketing world. Those are like the records behind her it's a big deal. Russell Brunson, anybody know that name? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They talk every day, and she's like one of the top 5. And we're talking about 200 million people in America, or whatever the number is. She's a big deal. She's doing an event in Anaheim at the Hilton, February 7, 8, and 9. You need to be there. And if you buy your Southwest flight today, and I know that's not a good word lately, I never thought I'd say this. If you buy your Spirit airline flight, Spirit out in South, don't do Spirit. It's a bad Spirit. But I've heard too many nightmares on Spirit. Southwest will get it together, but or American United. I don't care how you get down there. Drive down there. You drive down there. But if you'll buy your plane ticket today, she's going to let you come. It's 2.5 days. We've been talking about me being a guest speaker at one of her events for 2 years. And our schedule's aligned, right? And so I'm going to guest speak for Krista and be there, my wife and I, for 2.5 days. It's February 7, 8, 9. And you should be there. If you understood how successful she is, you would be there. So it costs money for 2.5 days, a very expensive event. If you register today and text me your flights, buy a flight, $49 one way, it's an hour, right in Anaheim, stay at the Hilton, bring a friend, share the room. It's, $199 a night, costs you $99 a night, be there for 2 nights, but you need to be there. And there's only 400 spots. And in LA, that's gone like this. So we're actually starting the marketing for it today. And so we posted in the chat. Those of you on Zoom, if you're not in a bathtub, can you undo your we want to see you. If you're on Zoom, please turn your camera on. And I have 2 very important things to wrap up with. So turn your camera on if you're in Zoom and you're not indisposed. So hey, there's something. We just love seeing you guys. What's going on? Yeah, it's me, everybody. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Hi. So how many people are watching all together? We got how many? 18 on Zoom, maybe 40 in the room. So about 58 of us here. But the link is in the chat, right? Yep. And what the link is, Krista, they can't see the chat.
KristaMashore.com.
Krista, right here, KristaMashore.com /agentmasterseries.com.
Can I say something really quick, Brent, too? Here's the deal. I promise you will get more out of this event than any event you've ever gone to. I promise. I will guarantee that. And if you do not, come up to me and I'll pay you back for your airfare. You will love it. We have over 1,500 reviews on this, and I'm going to over deliver. I guarantee you that you will get more out of this than you've gotten out of any other training you've ever done. I promise you.
Yep, so it's Anaheim Hilton, February 7th, that's a Tuesday, 8th, that's a Wednesday, and a half day on Thursday, the 9th. Come down. If you register today, we're gonna waive it's her event, I'm guest speaker, she is offered to waive the event price to $0. Fly down there, get a room, attend, go, but you gotta get your ticket today. Call to action. Those of you online, we're talking to you too. There's 18 of you online, I believe was the number. So get online right now, Google Flights, do that. And Krista, anything else you want to say regarding that event, the Agent Master Series?
Right, there is a charge online. Is there a coupon code or?
Yes, I have a special code. When you text me a copy of your flights, or you call me and say, I'm driving down, and you're convincing. And I will hold you to it, because if you say you're coming, you don't come, it's going to be a sellout. You're going to take someone's chair.
Yeah.
And that's not cool. And so you could drive down, but you better be convincing. I will give you the promo code, so the event is free to you. And so I begged her for this, and she said yes. So Kathy and I will be there. We're excited. It's going to be, she is incredible, electrifying. Was she not good today?
Yeah.
Give her a hand.
It's going to be much more like step-by-step action items. We're going to go over your client avatar together, help you pick your niche. We're going to teach you how to feel confident on video, but then not only that, how to generate leads where people raise their hand and say, hey, I want you to work with us. We're going to show you a 9-step listing process situation to get people to ask you for an appointment. Then we're going to show you exactly what we do after the appointment to make sure you actually get the appointment no matter what, and keep all of your commission. That's that and so much more. I've sold over 2,300 homes personally in my career in every market, and I specialize in digital marketing. And we're going to teach you that along with a ton of mindset to help you actually get to be able to do it. So I got to go. Brent, I love you so much.
Bye. See you, Krista. Take care.
I'll see you. Bye.